What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. This is God knows what, but hope everyone's having a great weekend. I'm sitting in beautiful nature, actually in my car, but this is nature to me because I'm not really an outdoors person so much. But is anybody here on this app called Clubhouse? I was just added onto it. It's like invite only, but don't let that scare you. I think it'll be like mainstream in the next couple of weeks, and a lot of people are on it. It's basically, I'm just going to summarize this. It's almost like those 80s, if you were in the 80s, party rooms. It's audio only. There are different groups run by moderators, and anybody can listen in. So you've got groups about like entertainment, screenwriting, acting, not just that, but like meditation, Barbie dolls. Whatever your interest, there's like always somebody talking about it. And I really think social media is driven by the ego. Like, people love to hear themselves speak and just, get their voices out there. Not dissing that, that's what it is. And Clubhouse is capitalizing on that. And what's interesting to me, I'm in Hollywood, so I listen to a lot of the entertainment ones, or I just check in and out. I used to work on the business side of entertainment. Like, I was an assistant, I was like a coordinator, I was a manager. And I remember people would call up the offices all the time, and you were not allowed to, people would call up for like my boss, who was an agent. It wasn't when I was an assistant, and you couldn't put that call through. Like, I was like a line of defense, right? Even like when on the talent side, when I was talent, trying to get representation, like in my 20s or 30s, I remember it's emailing people. I mean, God, this still happens. I would email people for like a response and no answer. And no answer is a response. And that's like a common MO thing in Hollywood, where people just won't respond to you. Mostly because people are very busy and they don't want to waste their time with, some guy in New Hampshire. It's like a firewall between executives and Hollywood people. And, likewise, if you're really successful in Hollywood, like I'm sure everybody, in my level, they have like famous friends. They're almost like, they become like inaccessible after a certain time, after a certain point. They'll all level up. And Hollywood is like one big high school, if that summarizes everything. I've been going into these rooms, and there are a bunch of these Hollywood execs and, giving great advice to people. And these rooms are just filled with like hundreds of people, right? Because anybody can listen. And, you pick up things here and there. And at the end of it, you can raise your hand if you're listening, and you can be called on and speak. So it's almost like taking out that wall, right? That defensive tackle. Like, there's nobody. It's unfiltered. You can ask anything, and it's kind of hilarious because there are people, like I was in the screenwriting thing once, group, and people were like asking like the lady who wrote Mrs. Doubtfire. They were like, "How do you write a screenplay?" And she's like, "Read Cat in the Hat, watch a masterclass." It's kind of hilarious to some extent because the app is so raw. So I've been on it the past few days, checking in, checking out. And I've been feeling so overwhelmed because, when you work in Hollywood or you're in New York or wherever you are, like, you don't ever think about the competition. You just kind of do what you do. You have your friends who are also in the business, but you never actually see people around you. This Clubhouse thing, you see so many people, like rooms full of hundreds of people. Like, they're all like influencers, actors, writers, directors, choreographers, God, you name it, they're there. And you're just like, oh my God. Like, Hyman Roth in Godfather says, "This is the business we have chosen." Like, oh my God, but it's like right there in front of you. And I was overwhelmed. I was like, I can't deal with this. Probably because I'm now like middle-aged. Like, when I was younger, I had like more like confidence. Now it's like, geez, am I getting old? It's like a whole new generation coming up behind me. I'm not going to be just pushed aside. And then I was like, this is how I dealt with it. I mean, I could be wrong here, but and I've said this before, I was like, because I was in a room yesterday that one of my exec's friends was in, and he was like, "You have to listen to this." And the room went on for like 2.5 hours, right? And after like an hour, I was like, I can't be listening on this thing. I've got to be doing work, And I was like, oh, I got to be listening. And then I was thinking, no, I should be doing work, like, because that's what it's about. You have to be doing the work. Like, look, yes, apps like that are very valuable. You can pick up stuff, insights. However, never disregard the work. You have to be, real people are doing the work as well. They're very conscious of their time. All my friends who are great stand-ups, like, they've been doing it like 20 plus years because that's how long it takes, And likewise with me, whenever I make stuff, I'm like, well, I've got to be putting in my 10,000 hours, to keep elevating. There's no other way. So I think Clubhouse is great. I'm not dissing it, obviously. I think it's, all these social media things are changing the game, but do the work. I said this before, like Steve Martin says it too. You got to do the work. No way around it. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.